So it is Monday night. It is 11:15 p.m. We had an overrun for a main event that might as well have been a house show. And welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Raw Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. I'm your moderator for this evening because this is all about Ashley tonight.
I'm your moderator.
Yep. I might as well start being the moderator of these shows from now on because I survived my first legitimate hurricane.
Yeah, for once, it wasn't work. It was actually a legitimate reason that, he's tired. He basically couldn't sleep because he was practically in his closet. Oh, wait, he actually was in his closet, riding out the storm.
Was in the closet riding out the storm. Like I said before, it was nice hanging out with one of my best friends, John Paul. He actually was able to stay here with me. And we had power the whole time. We never lost power once. The funny thing about it was we still lived like settlers on the prairie because we lived in darkness and basically used the light from our cell phones, even though we could have had power the whole time. But we didn't know exactly if there was going to be a tornado that was going to strike. And if it did, then I wanted to run into the bathroom as quick as I could. So I ended up crashing in the couch about 3 o'clock this morning, yesterday morning, if you're listening to this on archive. I was basically laying on the floor in my closet. Then I decided to lay down on the couch. And then about 4 o'clock this morning, I actually laid down in my bed, fell asleep, woke up at 9:30. The curfew for my area was lifted at 6 p.m. We went to the Hop of Eye, as Matt Hardy would say, and was able to get some food, and then went to Cabana Bay for a bit, walked around, and Sapphire walked around, and then came back here. And once again, that's why I'm a moderator tonight, because I was barely able to see any of the show.
Which is somewhat a shame because I was under the impression they're not going to try. They're going up against not one, but two NFL games because it's the opening week of the season. And turns out, holy shit, it actually was not too bad a show. But there are some elements which will need some certain music.
Of course.
So they open up with a moment of silence and Times New Roman black and white text marking 9/11. And apparently, what we learned on that day is that freedom isn't free. Now immediately I'm going, because it's a hefty fucking fee.
So it costs $1.05? Is that what you're saying?
No, but it's like, I'm thinking of Team America War Police, the song.
Yeah, I know. Freedom costs $1.05.
Was that what it was? I just remember the freedom isn't free because it's a hefty fucking fee. That's all I remember.
Freedom costs $1.05. Yes, that's the end of the song. I know exactly what song you're referring to.
So, Tasmanian Devil again, because Roman's out. And then Jordan. Jordan's got lyrics to his song now.
He did last week, too.
I didn't notice him last week.
I did, because it was like, huh?
And Roman and Jason have a damn good match. Really back and forth. Jason with plenty of opportunities to win, just like it was with Cena last week. And these two matches alone, I think, put Jason on the... You better put him in contention sooner rather than later.
For wrestling, yeah, but it's too bad he's not allowed to show the personality he had as Pork Chop Jones.
So Roman wins with the spear. But they shake hands afterwards, and then Charlie asks Cena, who's been watching it all backstage, what he's got to say, and goes, how about I prefer to say it to his face. So after we come back from commercial, here comes Cena. His towel is going up on the WWE auction stuff. By the way, I don't know what happened to like other stuff, but I do actually have details on the fact that the Alexa Bliss WWE Women's title that was won in Memphis 2 weeks back went for $1,420.
Wow.
Callisto's shirt with about a week to go has currently got 105. And if I refresh, Cena's towel is at 410, which is what got shown off here. I just want to mention some of the other ones because some of them it's like, wow. Kurt Angle's tie, only $170. Alexa Bliss's gloves, how about $1,210? Alexa's t-shirt, how about $700?
I'll buy that.
AJ's elbow pad, $1,000. Even the Cena isn't that bit. And then Baron Corbin, 160. Thank God. New Day signed trombone. That's currently nearly 1,000. Aiden English, barely 100. So you might have a chance sewing if you've got the money. Also, amazingly, Sasha Banks' t-shirt is only at 185. Admittedly, it's from tonight, so obviously hasn't had that long to bid. Also, Callisto's mask that he had tonight. There's some interesting stuff, I will say. There's also some, Baron Corbin's only made that much money. Well done. So, Cena's excited to hear what Roman's got to say, considering, it should easily get past a fresh meat talent like Jason Jordan. And Roman says, look, in all honesty, I was having a great match. Something you haven't had in a while. Hell, I've had more great matches in the past 2 years than you've had in your entire career. And I'm going, no. No. Wow. So I'm just watching the Mae Young Classic stuff. I didn't realize Jazzy was this over.
It's insane. I don't get it, but it's insane.
I love the fact as well they were saying, "Please sign Jazzy," and they were going, "We've already run out of money." And it's like, yeah, that's why you save the money on the pyro to get Jazzy Gabert. I think people want her or Piper Niven because they realize they're better big women than the actual big women are currently in the company.
Well, Piper Niven is gorgeous and she can wrestle. So yeah, I'd much rather have her.
Nia Jax is shit. Tamina Snuka is shit. Yes. Jazzy Gabert is awesome. Piper Niven is awesome. Can we just switch them out, please?
I'm definitely with
that. Cena goes, look, you got the skill, but the fact is your head's so far up your ass, we might as well call you the one-man human centipede. You think you run this place because nobody's been able to cut you down to size, but the fact is, that's where I come in. I'm not afraid to try everything. I'm not afraid to be not great at everything. But for you, surely the moment when you think that you've made it at the top, it'll be beginning for the end for you because there'll be nothing else for you to do. Fact of the matter is, if you want to be the guy, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready for no mercy because as it stands, at least in Cena's eyes, it's going to be a cakewalk. So Roman goes, whoa. Make sure your bitch ass stays in the ring. By the way, Isn't it weird how you suddenly want to come back to Raw? Is it because, you know, you're jealous of all the ticket sales I'm getting? Because, you know, ticket sales revenue, they're going great. And I'm going, Dave, have we got the financial figures? Is this true? Is this actually true? How are they doing great financially in terms of, well, I guess in terms of revenue, they might be, but that's because tickets are going up in price. Might mean there's less people. Also, you're having so much, you're clearly having enough of a loss because you're cutting back on pyro. Who knows? And, you know, Cena needs the WWE because Hollywood doesn't want him. Oh, there's the police sign, Jazzy Chance. Oh, it cost him too much money in the cruiserweights. Clearly didn't. They didn't sign Kota Ibushi or Zack Sabre Jr. And also, yeah, with the Hollywood Cena thing, it's like, so they announced this when there's rumors that he's going to be Shazam. He's currently filming the Bumblebee thing. Ferdinand's coming out at the end of the year. I think that, and he's got bloody Netflix series and bloody YouTube Red series going on the run. I think that isn't a true argument.
Exactly.
So Roman's like, look, I can help you out. I know some people. And Cena's just like, oh, okay. If you want to do this, I'm going to fight fire with fire. You know, the fact of the matter is, Roman, you should just treat your match with me at No Mercy like a drug test because you ain't getting past me. I'm like, yep. I approve. I approve. I approve. So now Sasha makes her way out. She's facing Emma. Doesn't get any entrance. Doesn't get any music. So we don't know. They're doing this on purpose now. So interestingly, during this one, Nia does come out in non-wrestling gear and approaches the commentary table. And when we come back, basically she's doing commentary. And the great thing is they both acknowledge they hate Emma and all her social media stuff, which is clearly the WWE code for basically, yeah, fuck off. So Sasha and Emma was not too bad a match. Just okay, sort of, if you will. Emma tapping out to the bank statement. And that was it. Because they're clearly not having him too physical. Because if Sasha's going to be around tomorrow for the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen angle, which I think is happening, she didn't want to be doing too much. And then obviously include the fact that they're going on tour to, I think the Raw guys are going to Australia.
Something like that.
And China, I think. Can't remember. Quick to WWE events. Make sure I get the right rosters on the right places. Because I'm not sure. Because I know one's doing New Zealand. Well, hang on. Meet Dean Ambrose in Christchurch. So the Raw guys are doing the Raw guys are doing Australia and Sydney by the looks of it. And SmackDown is doing Japan and China. Because Mojo and Mojo Rawley's going to Dubai. Can you leave him there, please?
I'm
Just a
okay with this.
recommendation. You don't have to. You don't have to. Really? They only had it on for what? They only gave it half an hour. God damn it, WWE! You're so proud of women's wrestling, yet you're gonna make your bloody recap thing and the 6. There's another. I'm pretty sure there was another women's match as part of those tapings. I think, wasn't there? In the Mae Young stuff.
Jazzy match.
No, but other than that, wasn't there another one?
Uh,
Can't even remember. But the fact as well, tomorrow's final is only going to be half an hour. So rather than having like a warm up match with some of the women, no, it's just going to be them two and that's it. Because the fucking idiots are doing 205 actually live. So the people there are going to be there for in the region of roughly bloody 3.5 hours at least. Apparently, the only reason the people hung out last week, and this only came out after I'd done the report, the only reason people hung out last week for 205 Live is because they were getting an AJ Styles title match. And that's the only reason why. They didn't know who the cruiserweights are. What great brand loyalty that is. Oh, so, by the way, the 6-woman tag match was pretty damn good. Another match to add on the You've Got to See It. So, here comes the pain. Here comes Brock. Here comes Heyman. And Heyman's trying to sell, as he says, it's something that's already been sold. You know, the title match at No Mercy. Because the first time in a while, probably since facing Undertaker and ending the streak and everything, the odds are against Brock, considering, you know, the beating that he took at SummerSlam and everything. And what happened after that, you know, the night after. But the question is he better than the baddest man in WWE right now? Because the fact of the matter is, Strowman's going to have to rip the title away from Brock, just like Brock did in his dominance back in 2002. Against Rock, against Taker, against RVD, against Flair, against Hogan. You name them. They were put on the list. Not that list, by the way. Will the monster slay the beast? Now, is Braun ready to cross that border from sports entertainment into Suplex City? And he says, you know, some people don't like me talking about this, but back in the Brocktagon, they say, fighter, are you ready? Well, Braun, Brock's here. Fighter, are you ready? And Brock's just like, nodding. Braun, fighter, are you ready? We want to fight. Here comes Braun. They briefly brawl. So Braun goes for the running power slam, but Brock escapes it and delivers the suplex. And Braun no-sells it. And, you know, after delivering it, you know, Brock's like, yeah, and he turns around and his face is just like, fuck. And he choke slams him, gives him a running power slam. Braun poses with the belt and mocks Lesnar. He basically puts the belt on him and slaps him on the chest. 1, 2, 3. As if saying the title belt can beat him right now or something. I don't know. At least what we're trying to say is Brock's going to lose, which on the logic probably means he's going to win. Because reasons. So then they have the Hurricane Harvey and Irma stuff and the Red Cross, you know, donation link and everything in terms of supporting people that have been affected. Thankfully, Owen hasn't been too dramatically affected apart from lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep, yeah, that's about it. We're pretty fine over here. We're very lucky, to say the least.
It was just, I think the only thing that's the thing as well, on your side of the coast, it was mainly just the sea surges, I think. So anybody that was basically waterside might have had some issues.
Oh, yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, 2/3 of the state. I'm just seeing the article here. 2/3 of the state doesn't have power. So, geez.
Yeah, about 13,000 people right now are without power. We were very lucky.
So then we get interesting. Remember the thing that happened back over the last few months, Owen?
Yes.
You can't handle the truth. A Few Good Men, 1991. Well, forget all that fucking shit, because here comes Goldust, and here comes Bray on the Tron, interrupting, and goes, Goldust, I thought you were bizarre. But now I realize you're just simply afraid. You're afraid of showing your true self. That's why you hide under that paint. Just like Finn Balor. That's your weapon to protect you from the truth. And all I can think, I'm surprised you're still in the ring, son. I'm surprised you haven't run. So Wyatt comes out. Basically a squash match. Bray winning with Sister Abigail. And then Bray's got a towel with him and wipes all of Goldust's makeup off.
It's kind of like what they did with the Renegade in WCW. When Jimmy Hart just looks at him and says, "You're just plain old Rick now."
And he's like, he's just a man. He's just a man like that Finn Balor. And Finn comes out, makes the save. Bray flees up the ramp. And yeah. Finn Balor doesn't get to do anything because apparently he's saving himself for Australia. It's the only sighting that you get of Balor. So Charlie interviews Sheamus and Cesaro and say how they're facing Anderson and Gallows tonight. And look, we may not like them, but to be honest, they're a much bigger threat to us than those so-called tag champs because, hell, they ain't even a team. And we'll prove that at No Mercy because the bar will be lowered on them with such power and brutality that they're just going to have to resort to their thing that they're best at, their instincts. And we know what their instincts are. You know, get out while the going's good and leave the other one to be fed to the wolves. Because they are the bar! The bar, the bar! The bar, the bar. So Rollins and Ambrose are on commentary with bloody binoculars and notepads scouting. And Anderson Gallows is like coming out. It's like, oh man, he's got props and everything. I guess because it was referring to like Luke's jacket. And then it's like, just as Sheamus, just as Cesaro's entrance is about to start, Rollins is like, oh, sorry, Dean. I had, you know, it was like, no wonder they look so small. We had the binoculars the wrong way around. They were just basically, there was no commentary at this bit. There was just them bickering for minutes. So Sheamus and Cesaro come out, and apparently Sheamus and Cesaro mouthed off at them, and they got up and they brawled. Anderson and Gallows joined the brawl, and officials broke them apart. No match! No match. For now. So they recap this when they come back from commercial, and Kurt's with them, the champs, and like, Kurt, we want a tag match later tonight. And Kurt's like, well, against who? Against Anderson and Gallows or against Cesaro and Sheamus? And Dean's just like, both of them. And Kurt's just, look, I don't want to put you as the tag team champs at risk from ruining a chance at a match at No Mercy. However, if you can find 2 tag team partners, I'll consider doing an 8-man tag. And of course, the crowd is just going, delete! And Dean just says, oh, why don't we just go down to Disney? Is it Disneyland in Cali or Disney World?
Disneyland, because it's Anaheim.
Because I can't remember whether he said land or world. He might have cocked up in that sense.
Well, land is Anaheim, and that's where that's the venue of the building.
Yeah.
Tonight.
I can't remember whether he said land or world, though.
Hopefully it's land, because that would be correct.
I know. He was like, well, we'll go and get Mickey Mouse and Batman. And I'm going, why the fuck would Batman be at Disneyland?
I mean, Christian Bale could be, but the thing about it, or Ben Affleck could be, but
that's like seeing bloody Thor or Doctor Strange at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like on in Grauman's Chinese Theater right outside, they do have those people that dress up as various things, and you can take photos with them, and they charge you money. So that's the only place that I could imagine you could see those two together. A crappy looking Mickey Mouse and a crappier looking Batman.
But Kurt says no, real people. And Seth's just like, we're on it. We're on it. And then Kurt to himself goes, Batman? He'd be a great partner. It's like, then why did you say they had to be real people when you're like, yeah, that'd be awesome?
Rest in peace, Adam West.
Bloody plonker. And then it's time to talk about the free agent. Because the rumors are true. Asuka is coming to Raw soon.
That's a surprise.
The rumors are she's going to be healthy enough to return sometime in October. So whether that will be in time for... Is it TLC in October?
I believe so. I know it's another show we're not covering.
So I think it's her. I think that could be when, or possibly in the run-up to Survivor Series. Depending when she's ready, of course. Certainly Survivor Series against whether it be Nia or whether it be Alexa or, whether it be Emma.
Yeah, it's TLC.
It obviously isn't going to be Sasha because she's busy with the women of Horse versus the women of Horse. So Nia and Alexa backstage, and there's like, why is Asuka getting all this special treatment when we should be the ones that are, praised and feared? And Alexa apologizes. Look, I hope we can be friends again. No, I'm sorry that I didn't get the match between us for the title like you wanted and I wanted. And, the fact that now we've got to have two other people somehow in contention for this belt. Just, can we be friends? And Nia goes, maybe, but you might want to reconsider that thought when I've got to tell you what I've got to tell you. And Alexa's like, what? So I went to Kurt Angle. And considering this match that you kept promising me, I went to Kurt and said, would I have it? So next week in San Jose, it's going to be me, Nia Jax, versus you, Alexa Bliss. She walks off and Alexa's just like, fuck. So here's Elias basically saying Anaheim sucks because cheap heat. And he's interrupted by Callisto. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Ba-da-da. Elias wins. The match was not bad, but nothing special either. The only special thing was Callisto in his special mask that's being auctioned off for Connor's cure. That's about it. Apparently, Elias does not give a fuck about kids with pediatric cancer. He wants them to die. Elias, if you'd like to prove otherwise, you better have a t-shirt next week that people can buy on the auction. Otherwise, you look a bit like a twat. Just saying. So then it's time for Cena versus Strowman. And this was a very good match with Roman looking on backstage, looking like some twat. And then let me find it. We get to the finish. So, the match goes to the outside. And basically Cena's trying to get some momentum in to basically do a running strike on Braun. Only once he gets around the corner on the non-hard camera side, he gets hit with the steel steps from Braun. Logically here, Owen, what happened?
Disqualification.
This ref, you know what? I'm going to let it fucking slide. So then, Braun pushes the stairs in the ring. Cena's dragged into the ring. Cena's lifted up on the shoulder of Braun. He delivers a running power slam on top of the steps. And then, only then, does he actually decide, the ref, to give a DQ. Why? Couldn't they just have the bloody DQ on the outside and then have the spot in the ring? And then do it how they did it? Who booked this shit? For a good match as well. Because it makes Braun look dominant. Because Braun mocks Cena and celebrates and everything. It's brilliant. And then fucking Charlie backstage. Excuse me, Roman. What's your reactions to that match? Oh. This is the direct quote. The monster showed no mercy, Charlie. And neither will I. What the fuck is that? Are you trying to look like an utter fucking idiot? He doesn't even do it with charisma. It's just like he's on fucking Adderall. No, it wouldn't be Adderall because that's the other way around. He must be on fucking pot because he was that mellow in his reaction. It was just like, yeah. It's like you don't give a shit. Brilliant. And now, Ms. TV.
Yes.
Except before that, Dean and Seth are looking for partners. They get some random backstage ring crew people. And then Jamie Noble and Dean Malenko.
Yes.
What the fuck? He's alive. And then, hang on. Now I need to actually get the video. The video that was put up on Thursday.
Yes. Shower me with your adoration. Engulf me with your disdain. Feed me your emotion. Feed me your energy. And watch me metabolize it and turn it into power. Feed me your energy. Feed me your energy. Feed me your energy. Get woke. Stay woke.
Yes, it's coming, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it is.
So they show up, and it's like, you know, Matt's just like, how wonderful it is to see you again. And Dean just goes, so what are you up to tonight, guys? And Matt just does the gnashing of the teeth like that. And I'm just like, woke as fuck.
Yes.
So now we get to Miz TV. And it's time to start, before anything, with an announcement. Which is only appropriate considering it's the announcements where he and Maurice met, which is the WWE. And he lets Maurice announce that they be having a baby. Whoop, whoop. Once again, beating out John Cena and Nikki Bella. Yes! Miz is the best. And of course, Miz says, look, I'll be with you on all the way. With you and the kid. Unlike Kurt Angle was with his. So, of course, you know, cheap heat, I mean. So Miz is about to do a speech about how proud he is. And Enzo interrupts. And he's like, you know, no wonder people don't like you. That's why you get kicked off the bloody buses. And that's why you get kicked out the locker rooms. Nobody can stand you. How? Nobody likes you on Raw that much that you got taken to 205 Live. And how? Look at the guy who's saying this. I wasn't a popular guy myself when I debuted here, but I rebranded, learned, and earned my way to where I am today. You know, it's so frustrating that I see so much freaking talent. And it was like, God, he came close. So much freaking talent in you, but you keep making mistakes. You know, you think you belong in the cruiserweights with, you know, talent like Neville that hone their craft and want to be the basis of perfection? And talents who do spectacular top rope moves that defy gravity and shock and awe the fans? All you do is slack off with your rapper friends and fall flat on your face. And then Enzo comes back fire with fire style and goes, look, let's be honest. You're just a cop. You're just a guy that had to, you know, found his way to belong by just copying Chris Jericho, Ric Flair. Didn't mention Daniel Bryan, but that's obviously one as well. But the fact of the matter is, I'm truly original. You know, Miz, you're nothing but a paper champ. And Miz goes, look, paper champion. You know, and asks the fans, do you think that I'm championship material? And he just goes, well, if you were championship material, Enzo, you'd still have a tag team partner. And Enzo's just like, I want to fight. I want to fight. And Miz is like, you want to fight? That's going to be one of the biggest mistakes you've made. Because you're going to learn the hard way. And just to make sure, I'm going to dedicate this victory to my unborn child. And Enzo says, hey, if that's the case, I'll apologize to the kid. But the fact is, I think Daniel was right. You are soft. So this is a pretty brief match because randomly, like as we come back from commercial, and the match has already been in flow for a few minutes. Enzo gets on the mic and goes, "Hey, you may be Hollywood A-lister in terms of your wrestling work, but you ain't that good in terms of performance. How you doing? And basically, Miz goes after him, and he gets his own sort of Miz mic rather than the Enzo mic. He goes, "Oh, I guess the question is, how are you doing?" And he smacks his head into the thing, into the ring apron over and over again. It's just like he's just like smacks him in, and another smack, and another smack, and another. Literally saying that on the mic as well. And it's like, "How are you doing, Enzo?" And then he gets up on the top rope, and he goes, "Enzo, how are you?" But during this time, Enzo basically bounces off the ropes, causing Miz to get low blowed on the turnbuckle, top turnbuckle. So, I guess there's only one kid coming, as it seems. With Corey dropping a great line of what I think Enzo was trying to do there was jump over the ropes and into the crowd and out the building because he doesn't want to do with this anymore. And Enzo, of course, which he said in the promo, how sometimes he doesn't think before he speaks. He's like, I don't think the question you should be asking is how you're doing. I think the question we should be asking is to your unborn kid, and that question is, who's your daddy? And of course, Miz is just like, the fuck? And Mr. Raj is like, the actual fuck? And they beat the shit out of him. And he wins by DQ, but they beat the shit out of him. And they give him a skull-crushing finale and everything. So let me get this straight. Enzo Amore is this liked, loved figure. He keeps fucking cheating in his matches. He keeps causing offense and getting on the wrong side of people, both kayfabe and non-kayfabe. And then he goes on what I'm guessing is a real announcement of a pregnancy. Decides to bloody, make claim to the fact that Miz isn't the father. And we're supposed to cheer for this fucker. Enzo's up there with Sexy Star now. Barefaced cunt. Jesus. God almighty.
I have no words.
So, next they basically confirmed next week on Raw it's going to be Nia versus Alexa, and then tomorrow, 205 Live, which is actually live. Bloody idiots. Because from what I remember, tonight's main event spoilers were a cruiserweight 6-man and a match that Rhino beating somebody. Can't even fucking remember. I want to say Dash Wilder, which is weird, but I'm not sure. So tomorrow on 205 Live, it's TJP and Rich Swann, apparently in the rubber match, if you will. So Enzo's like coughing and recovering backstage, and Neville just comes in and stares at him. And then this doesn't happen, but it practically does happen. Neville just does a really fucking good cackle. It's bloody beautiful. Bloody beautiful. That's all Neville needs to do because he's awesome. And so then we get to Sheamus and Cesaro already in the ring with their music playing. Anderson and Gallows not with their music playing. And then come Rollins and Ambrose, and then finally the Hardys. This match was pretty good. It wasn't given that much time because obviously they started roughly at about 10 to the hour, and obviously they're not trying to go too long because I believe they're basically flying out tonight to New Zealand in time for Wednesday. Because obviously by the time they get there, it's going to be Tuesday night practically. Because they'd be crossing the date line the wrong way to confuse everybody. So, you know, not too bad a match. So the Hardys sort of get dominant, and I guess Anderson and Gallows can't cope with it, and Sheamus and Cesaro just leave. Anderson goes to attack Seth. He grabs him, puts him into Ambrose, gives him a dirty deed. Seth gets the pinfall. And Sheamus and Cesaro look on from the ramp. Hardys look on from the floor because they've gotten off the apron because they were basically wanting them to come back in. And Sheamus and Cesaro are saying, nope. And Rollins and Ambrose celebrate in the ring. And that's it. That's actually it. Some of the promo bits were pretty damn good.
Right.
Even the bit with Enzo and Miz, when Miz and Enzo were clearly shooting on each other. Probably scripted shooted because apparently this is the new thing now. Because it got so over with the bloody marks and everything with the script. You know, it's a shame to me that it isn't unscripted, some of the stuff from Cena and Reigns, as it turns out, and it actually is scripted. But the thing is, if they're scripting it and people are believing it's real, for once, they're actually doing bloody good scripts. Because remember back in the early part of this year when we were like, yeah, that feels like it's scripted. That feels like it's just cookie cutter, put tab A into slot B. It's like, it's getting to a point with both of these characters, certainly with Enzo and at least with the Cena and Reigns match itself. Anything is fair game. Especially because he keeps calling him bloody little bitch and everything. Apparently that's a thing. Can we get that on a t-shirt, please, WWE? Oh, can you put that on Connor's Cure as well? I want Connor's Cure little bitch t-shirts. That might sound wrong, but that's your fault for basically coming up with this tagline that he's got to say every time.
Pretty much.
Apparently. Should we get to the more important news?
Sure.
Considering this is the only time that you and me are talking this week. Practically, because there isn't a show Wednesday, is there? Because of stuff.
Employee preview night.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Stuff. So we have official confirmation that final battle, I think, is December 15th.
Yes.
Which should be interesting. Also interesting in terms of the Ring of Honor stuff. The Bucks are doing double duty. They're defending the tag belts as well as the 6-man belts. So that's a bit ridiculous. Come to think of it, is that Ring of Honor show? That Ring of Honor show is the same weekend as Clash of Champions, isn't it?
I believe so.
On the 17th. Oh shit! Another long pop weekend.
Sweet.
And then the other one, WWE announced an Indian tour for December to New Delhi on Raw. Does anybody notice a problem here? Ever so slightly. So something that is so obviously this Saturday it's going to be busy. So the one we everybody in chat keeps mentioning. I should probably check chat to see what's going down. If there's anybody in there. The people there, do we know?
No, there hasn't been anything tonight.
Are we dead? Oh, they're all dead. Damn it. So the Golovkin-Alvarez fight, which is probably the biggest proper boxing match of the year. That's happening. You've got the CMLL 84th anniversary show, which I'm pretty sure is going to be better than Triple Mania. How? If you watch Botchamania, there was stuff I didn't even notice. UFC's got a Fox Sports 1 fight night in Pittsburgh. And then you've also got in the early hours into Sunday, Destruction in Hiroshima, which is an awkward name considering the name of the place. Ever so slightly. So who knows?
I got some news that you may not be aware of.
Oh, that's interesting. Nikki Bella is joint second favorite to not win. So in terms of the order, Nikki Bella's like not odds on not going to win like Barbara Corcoran is, but she's basically like she isn't going to win. So there you go, WWE. That's how much confidence. What a great move that was to put her in there. But the Frankie Muniz is more favorite. Lindsay Sterling on YouTube, more popular than Nikki Bella. Fucking love it. I actually do. That's making me smile. It's like beautiful. I'm trying to think of the other bits of news that might have happened to talk about. Quick for the headlines.
It's not really news. It's not really news, but I've got something that's interesting. If you weren't able to be one of the very lucky people that were at Bola this year.
Uh-oh.
So highspots.com is giving away. They're selling a few very interesting things. An autographed Kenny Omega Rising Stars of Wrestling action figure for $50. Autographed Young Bucks, Elite, and Kenny Omega posters for $50. Lucha Brothers poster for $50. A turnbuckle that was from Bola for $459. The T-shirt for $20. And here's the big one, Ashley, the Bola 2017 24 card set autographed for $100.
That must be an auction, is it? Or
no.
Is it just they said they were going to be auctioning it off for hurricane relief funds and stuff.
Not according to High Spots.
Interesting. Speaking of that, Wrestle Circus was very much affected. I can't remember who, but somebody couldn't make it to the show because they were basically stuck because of travel issues. So stuff got changed around and everything. Christy James actually had a decent intergender match. No cock up from the Rachel Ellering stuff from last time, so thank God. Also, Rich Brennan did the entire commentary from Orlando, despite the fact the show was happening in Austin. So yeah, he was doing because he never misses a booking. He was doing live commentary basically via tape, via like 2 or 3 second delay from the feed that he was getting. Full credit to him and full credit to them to get it working. And rather than have nobody on commentary, because obviously Lance Hoyt's busy in Japan right now.
Yeah.
So they couldn't have him. So fair play to the guys for doing that. And I'm pretty sure they raised a fair few thousands of dollars through Twitch, as well as the live event stuff in terms of funds for the hurricane relief stuff. So we now know that who's going to be in England next week, because Joe Coffey's mystery opponent for the ICW World Title
Chris
is
Hero.
some guy called Cassius Ohno.
Yes.
Don't know whether people have heard of him. Maybe. With the UFC, the main event fell through because Ray Borg was basically ill and couldn't compete, which then led to a pretty damn good match that the crowd didn't care about because they didn't want it as the main event. Which goes to show you, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada is sexist as fuck, apparently. Which I think is a bit unfair on that match because it was very good and very close. I'll give my full thoughts on the actual recap stuff. We do have confirmation that Ronda Rousey is going to be on the Mae Young Classic red carpet now, along with Hope Solo and some of the people from Glow as well, allegedly. The interesting thing is, the red carpet thing's only on Facebook. Right. Okay. So that seems rather interesting. And in terms of the New Japan stuff, apparently it was shit. Which is always good to hear. Yeah, the Fukushima show was fucking terrible. You see what I did there? Yeah, that might be an interesting development. Shall we say?
Interesting. So, Ashley, did you heard about TPI?
That's the IWA Mid-South one, isn't it?
Yep.
I haven't heard about it because considering the booking and approaches of a certain person that runs that promotion, I sort of pay as little attention to it as possible unless something big happens. So what happened that was big?
TPI is going to be on this Thursday and Friday back in Memphis, Indiana at the new IWA Arena, which is the Memphis Flea Market. Tickets are available, $50 for front row, $40 for general admission for both nights, and you can get single night tickets available at the door. Doors open at 6:45, bell time 7:30. Set to compete in TPI, Shane Strickland, Dave Christ, Congo Kong, Gary J, Aaron Williams, Jake Christ, Spider Nate Webb, Sue Young, Ludark Shaitan, Space Monkey, Ace Perry, Eric Cannon, Homicide, Eddie Kingston, Jonathan Gresham, Mance Warner, Zodiac, David Starr, Calvin Tankman, Shane Mercer, Anthony Henry, Larry D, Davey Richards, and Jonathan Wolf.
Part of me feels that ain't going to be what people are talking about this weekend in terms of hardcore wrestling.
All right.
Because also this weekend, we've got GCW's Nick Gage Invitational 2.
Yep.
Which includes Matromont's final ever deathmatch tournament.
And he is
at
now
the same
in charge of CW.
Well, co-charge 50-50.
Close enough.
Which for a fan, as he was a few years back, God damn it.
Big deal.
But he's putting his GCW title on the line throughout the entire thing as well. So we've got Nick Gage, Miedo Extremos, Cyclope, Schlack, G-Raver, Marcus Crane, Daisuke Matsuoka, and Matromont. And then also in non-tournament stuff, Joey Janela versus Teddy Hart.
Oh my God.
Sorry, IWA, it's out. You got pwned. And that's all in one day as well. That's all in the space of like 5-6 hours. That's not 2 days. No slacking here. Wow. I'm trying to think as well what we've got coming up this week, because this is like, if people are only interested in you talking on this stuff rather than me, because I never track the numbers.
Next week, OVW is going to be running their Matt Capitelli special benefit show. September 23rd at the Davis Arena, 7:30 p.m. Tickets are only $15. All proceeds go to the Capitelli family.
Nice. So just having a quick look. Oh, I guess the other big thing, I don't know whether you saw it on Twitter. So midway through Chase the Sun, Progress Wrestling's biggest show ever, they talked about how great it was to be in a 2,000-seat building. But the fact of the matter is, in 12 months' time, Jim's going to be in that ring and say, hello, Wembley. Because, yes, in 12 months' time, Progress Wrestling is running Wembley Arena.
Good Lord.
That's like on the scale of ICW. So I think there's your second mega promotion in the UK. So yeah, next week, AIW with what I think is going to be their last show for a fair number of months, as it stands. Unless somebody comes in with a lot of money. We've got some Smash Wrestling. Shine comes back. The anniversary show from CMLL, PWX. ICW's got its Newcastle show, which obviously is big now because of the Cassius Ono stuff. Dragon Gate Japan has got its big sort of one team must disband show next week as well. I don't think anything else has been added. And of course, UFC again, because always. And then of course we get closer and closer to UFC and Bellator running the same night, which is always awkward. And then, geez, so Evolve are doing a doubleheader, Ring of Honor are doing a doubleheader, Fight Club Pro are doing a doubleheader, and Preston City Wrestling are doing a doubleheader, all on the same week as No Mercy. Yeah, dang it. And that's probably half the stuff I don't even know. Because I don't think Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's announced anything yet in terms of anything.
No.
The only stuff we have is that the bowler stages as well as the pre-shirts or the t-shirts, are available to pre-order for. Oh, that's interesting. So if you get the Blu-ray edition, it's $20 for all 3 nights. But if you get the DVD, it's $15 for the first 2 nights and $20 for the final night. So what that's telling me is just buy the Blu-rays because it's overall cheaper. And then $20 as well for the bowler shirt, which is a pretty damn good logo. Oh, and also not another Steen DVD. That's a good title. That's what I'm saying. So I think that's all the major news I can see.
Yeah.
Gone down.
Lots of Ashley content on this network lately. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
AJ content on this network lately, and a whole lot less of me. So that's what's going to happen. It's the month of September,
There's going to
October.
be something from you, I'm thinking, this week regards to Sip and Snack and HHN. I'm guessing.
I do have Sip and Snack coming out on Thursday. There's still a Gaming with Ash in the can that's going to be coming out later this week. We had 3 big wrestling wrap-up videos from Ashley, if you want to check those out.
We have 4. Because I think this is the schedule
4.
now. This is the schedule. There's going to be one video which is just going to cover the news. There's one video that's going to cover just the TV, and there's one video that's going to cover the indie and the UFC stuff. I've got to catch up with the UFC stuff, but hopefully it won't go as long because I won't have been to any of the shows this week.
And a Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, as the bonus,
That just went up
because
yesterday.
it makes sense to be up to, with my eyes in a very weird looking state. I'm not going to say orgasm, but it looks like that. The very thanks, camera, for getting a great thumbnail.
Yeah, that's what happens when we don't have thumbnails at the time. So this Wednesday, tomorrow night, is one of the most important times of the year, starting for myself every single year, and that is the employee preview for Halloween Horror Nights 27. I will not call it 2017 because we are not on the West Coast, no matter what they're telling me to say right now. So that is also the night that at Full Sail they will be featuring another night of NXT tapings. So that's going to be available. If there's any tickets left available, it was listed today that they will be available somewhere between 4 and 6 p.m. on Wednesday night, if there's any seats available. And given that
Owen's going to be between 4 and 6.
It depends. If I can't go to preview night, if preview night gets postponed, well, it won't be postponed, it'll be canceled because of the hurricane. If something happens and preview night gets canceled, there's a possibility I may end up back at Full Sail again. But that's
shit.
very, very unlikely. But we'll see what happens. NXT is also back. If you want to get your tickets, available for Full Sail tapings on October 4th as well, which is also a Horror Nights night. So
you done, son?
Pretty much. So yeah, Horror Nights going to be taking over my life for the next 2 months, all the way up until November 4th. And November 5th, I'm going to be at Bound for Glory. So back to Impact tapings as of the 5th of November. So yeah, it never ends. The week after that, of course, back to Dr. Phillips for La La Land in concert, and a lot of cool things coming for you guys for the next several months. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, check out me, AJ, and Ashley and our Oscar prediction podcast, which came out recently. And we've also I broke down and we finally did a Halloween Horror Nights full reveal podcast on Friday night. Went 4 hours and time just flew right by. So yeah, check that out if you're so inclined. Check out the other wrestling content here on the network, whether it's Ashley or I am joining Ashley. Usually it's mainly Ashley nowadays because he has a lot more time than I do, and can make a lot more time than I can right now because my world's about to be flipped upside down for all the Halloween Horror Nights goodness starting this weekend. And Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I am on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK.
All right.
Where at least as it stands, I'm just randomly liking tweets and retweeting things that need to be retweeted or something.
Very nice. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page, which eventually I will update. It is under Popcast Network on Facebook. And if you are so inclined to be in this wonderful state that is in a state of rebuilding right now after the hellacious hurricane we just survived, if you will, I would say right now that get your behind to my home away from home, quite literally, Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Florida. This weekend starts Halloween Horror Nights 27 on Friday night. And if you are in the area, there's a really good chance you're going to see me out in the fog. You're probably involved at Bill and Ted or in one of the lines for one of the 9 houses of the event. So I'll be very easy to find for the next 2 months, to say the least, at least on the weekends and a lot of the weekdays. So that's going to be your show. Once again, I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more tonight you have chosen a podcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Where is Adam Page? Ashley?
Why the fuck was Glacier there? That's what I want to know.
Welcome to Ring of Honor. And until tomorrow, boys and girls. Oh, real quick. I want to throw out a shout out real quick. I don't normally mention this, but I'm going to anyway. Obviously, I had the pleasure a couple years ago, Halloween Horror Nights, of meeting Cody and Brandy Rhodes, and I was able to chat with them for a few minutes. They have done a podcast. They did a podcast with a good friend of mine named Logan Seculo, and he runs a podcast called the Scare Zone Podcast, talking all about Halloween Horror Nights. And Cody and Brandy did a podcast for them. So, yeah, that's going to be available very soon to check that out. So it'll be available in the next few days. You can find it at SZ Podcast on Twitter and scarezone.com. So, yeah, there's a really good interview with the Rhodes clan that I think you'd want to check out. So Cody and Brandy did an interview with Logan, and that's going to be available on their account very soon. So, yeah, check that out. Definitely something worth paying attention to. Zach Ryder did an episode too, so that's also a wrestling connection. Zach and Cody, both huge wrestling fans, long day. Both huge Halloween Horror Nights fans, and yes, check those out if you're so inclined. So, in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
She's coming soon.